Everybody's Doc Green, the Road Scholar. Come back at you. I got to do a video about this because it just pisses me off to no end. This is a live video because I'm out of storage on my Google whatever and can't store anything on there until I clear it out. And I got something I got to talk about right now. And I'm going to post it up. Don't worry, it's not going to be live for long. It's going to be in my archives. Guys, we have been screwed. Oh, well, I just got screwed by TQL. But let me say first, guys, hit subscribe on this channel. Hit share if you do anyone interested in this video, and hit that little bell notification. It really helps spread the word out here. I will try to respond to some of you guys on chat if you send me messages or anything. But right now, I'm going to discuss what happened to me and what is happening to a lot of truck drivers out here with TQL. And not just TQL, it's a lot of brokers in general. I was driving a load for TQL when I first got my own authority, and I had an accident with one of their trailers. And I submitted to my insurance. TQL was supposed to take care of it and everything. And I continued driving for TQL for a little while and everything until they said I couldn't drive anymore until it was taken care of. I get that. That makes sense. However, my insurance company was trying to get TQL to send them information about the trailer I had damaged so they could pay for it. That was well over 2 months ago. TQL never sent over the information to them. Still hasn't sent over the information. And now TQL is refusing to pay me for the loads that I ran for them because the claim hasn't been satisfied. And I keep trying to explain to them it's not satisfied because you haven't sent over the information my insurance company requested. And then all of a sudden they quit responding altogether, quit responding to me and the insurance company. It's been over 2.5 months now. So what I want to discuss in this video is about, it wasn't just about TQL, which if a lot of you have been paying attention to TQL and everything, or news from Freight Waves and some other channels about TQL, you'll understand that they have gotten accused of this a few times by a few different drivers and companies and everything, and how they're getting screwed over. For instance, one of the companies had picked up a load of chicken, delivered it, there was 2 stops on it. TQL told them before, or not TQL, the shipper, before they pulled in, open your trailer doors, had them wait for like 15 minutes, and backed in and started loading in the trailer with the telltale thermometers. When they got to the first step, the thermometer up in the back said your load had gotten over 34 degrees for a very short time period, but it had gotten over 34 degrees. They refused the load. However, they did take the load off the truck. They took it off, but refused the load. So anyway, he goes on to the next stop, makes it, they look at their thermometer, says, no, everything's fine. It shows temperature was right and everything, signed off, clear bill lady, went on about business. The driver goes on, keeps delivering for TQL for a couple of months. And he's one of those drivers, he was not doing the immediate payout. He wasn't getting factored and everything. So TQL owed him like $17,000. By the time they came around to paying him, they said, no, we don't have to pay you because you have a claim on your product, on one of your deliveries. And he said, wait a minute, my insurance company is handling that. And the insurance, that's what he called his insurance company. And they said, well, TQL hasn't sent us the documentation to show us the thermometer was below. So it ended up being a big legal battle, or not a legal battle, but a big battle. And TQL refused to pay him because they refused to provide the information to the insurance company. And so he is owed $17,000. Another company happened to $18,000, or more than $18,000. I forgot how much it was. TQL, again, driver makes delivery. TQL, the guy, the receiver said there was a broken bolt on the thing they need to lift the tractor off of a flatbed load. So, but they just replaced the bolt with the bolt that they had there, lifted it off, took it off, signed a clear bill of lading. He keeps driving for TQL, him and a few of his other trucks. They ran up a huge bill with TQL. TQL tells them months later when it's time to pay out this $18,000+ bill, they're not paying because there's a claim against him from the receiver. And he's like, wait a minute, they signed a clear bill of lading. Anyway, TQL is saying, yeah, but that's a claim, so by the contract that you have, we are refusing to pay you. And he's like, wait a minute, I have a clear bill of lading. I've sent you the clear bill of lading. What do you mean? He goes, well, there's a claim against you, and according to this clause in our contract, we don't have to pay you. And they show him the clause, and he's like, that's bullcrap, but whatever. He's dealing with it legally, trying to get his money. Same thing happened to me. I had an accident. I damaged a trailer that was a loadout trailer. I put in a claim to the insurance company. The insurance company, all they need is the VIN number the year and the make of the trailer, and the agreement, the trailer switch out agreement. I forget what it's actually called. This says I was allowed to pay the trailer, which the broker has with the customer. I don't have that paper. The only time TQL got a hold of me was a few days ago. They said, "Don't you have this information you can give to your insurance company so they can get us paid?" I'm like, "No, y'all have. They're asking for information I don't have that the broker has. The trailer transfer agreement." TQL hasn't responded again. That's going on 4 or 5 days again. They still haven't responded. Anyway, out of all this stuff that's happening, TQL has been brought up in the news a lot lately, especially on Freight Waves and stuff, the trucker news channels, about not paying drivers money owed to them. In the process, a lot more companies have started discussing information or getting in contact with these people about some things. And the word is spread, so now a couple of other companies are starting a class action lawsuit against TQL. TQL has so far they have found out there's not hundreds of thousands, possibly millions of dollars TQL has not paid out to drivers because they say that there are claims against them, but TQL is refusing to give the information over to the right people to get these claims taken care of, and they're holding on to these drivers' money. Some of these companies are going to have to go out of business because they're owed tens of thousands of dollars, and TQL is refusing to pay them, and so they're having to close their doors. I'm one of them. Because they have refused to pay me the money they owe me, I cannot afford to pay my bills, and therefore I'm going to have to go back to being a lease owner operator. Am I joining the class action lawsuit? I'm going to get in touch with the lawyers and join that class action lawsuit because they owe me the money. They're refusing to give the information out to the insurance company to get this thing situated so that they can pay me my money. They've been doing this to a lot of companies. And the truth is, drivers, here's the thing. We are signing contracts as owner operators with brokerages and stuff that we don't fully understand. Is it our fault? Yeah, I guess we shouldn't sign anything we don't understand. However, they're 15 pages thick, and still we should understand them. But when we don't, we should hire a lawyer. Now, I want you to understand how ridiculous that sounds. They can't put this in plain English so we can understand. We can't afford to hire lawyers to read over every single broker agreement that we sign. We don't have the legal knowledge or expertise to understand everything we're signing. And these companies know it. So they're putting this in. And the thing is, will I sign another contract with TQL? No, not as long as that's in there. Speaking of which, another story about TQL and that contract. One driver did understand. He did take it to his lawyer. His lawyer explained it. He crossed it out, initialed it and dated it, signed and dated at the bottom of the contract, sent the contract back to TQL. TQL signed and dated it. He had a claim on his load about a year later, and he goes back and shows him, "No, I took that out. You signed it, agreed to it, and now you owe me the money." And he had a copy of both signatures on the contracts. TQL still refusing to do it. They're saying, "Oh, well, you crossed out something." He goes, "Yeah, but you signed it after I crossed out and dated it." So now TQL is saying they're still refusing to pay him. That's another part of this legal battle. The thing is, as truck drivers and individual owner operators and things, we cannot afford to have an attorney look over every one of these contracts. This will cost you anywhere from $500 to $1,500, sometimes even more, to have a broker trucker agreement to be read by an attorney every time. And if you're signing up with multiple brokers and everything, you're talking about anywhere from thousands to tens of thousands of dollars worth of legal fees to have them go over these contracts with you. That's ridiculous. And the truth is, companies like these organizations are supposed to be out here protecting owner operators and American truckers, like the OOIDA or ATA, American Trucker Association. They need to step up to the plate and start helping explain to drivers what these contracts are, or informing them about what they are. Because here's the deal: TQL is not going to stop writing these contracts the way they're writing them. They're just not. They have too big of a pool of uneducated, uninformed drivers, such as myself. Even though I've been driving 20 years, I didn't understand the wording of what I was signing. There's too many drivers, especially the new drivers, and people in new authorities don't understand this, can't go to attorneys or anything, and TQL knows they have a huge pool. So if I don't sign the contract, do you think they care? Of course not. They got a million other drivers that don't understand the contract that will sign it, and they'll get to screw them over eventually. So that's what's happening out here. So am I upset? I'm pissed. I'm not upset. I'm pissed about it. But I'm going to join the class action lawsuit. But it got me to thinking, the problem is we don't have enough information out here we're not telling each other enough. Like, we'll all sit around at a place we're delivering and talk to other truck drivers and everything, or in truck stops and everything, and we all mention things and everything, but there's not anything to get the word out to the majority of drivers. I don't know if any of y'all are familiar with Trucking Made Successful. She has a wonderful YouTube channel, and she even talks about this, and she has a lot more subscribers and viewers than I do. But she talks about this on her channel. Some of the other drivers are talking about on theirs a little bit, but we need to get together and start sharing these types of videos. Like this video, when I'm done, please share it with other drivers and everything so that they know what they're getting into. Because you may say, okay, well, I signed a contract. I'm doing great with TQL. One incident with them, and they have the right to hold your money back and not pay you for what they owe you. Or some people, well, I get mine factored. They won't pay the factoring company. The factoring company's going to go back to you to get their money back. So these are things that we need to start spreading the word more about to other drivers, newer drivers, people getting in the industry, things like that. So that's the reason I'm asking people, please share this video. Please subscribe. It really helps a lot. You hit that bell notification to get notified when I put out other videos. I'm going to be talking about this kind of stuff a lot more. I haven't really talked about things that don't affect me directly because I don't know enough about things. I have to do a lot of research on them. I try not to do videos on insignificant stuff like what I'm eating for breakfast or what the sky looks like today. I try not to do things like that. I try to do videos that are informational and helpful to us in our industry, about our trucks, about the company, about the way things are going. That's the videos I try to put out here. Am I able to do it all the time? No, I'm not. I don't know enough about a lot of things to put my input in, but I'm going to start doing a lot more research and doing those kind of videos. This has re-energized me. At first I thought, if it doesn't affect me, don't talk about it. That's a fallacy in my thinking, because even though it doesn't affect me, it may be affecting thousands of other drivers out here. And for instance, this little clause in the TQL thing, in the TQL contract agreement, broker agreement, whatever they want to call it, that clause most drivers don't know about. So if you pick up a load, even if you factor that load and something happens on that load and you continue driving for TQL for another month or so, and you keep getting the money in from your factoring company, and then TQL refuses to pay them, they're going to go back after you, and you're going to look at it and go, what? This was not in that clause. I didn't sign it. And you did. You just didn't know it because you didn't understand it. So I'm going to start doing a lot more videos on that kind of stuff. I'd suggest guys go watch, again, Trucking Made Successful. Watch her channel. This lady doesn't drive a truck, but she owns a trucking company, and she's educated herself very well in the industry, and gives a lot of great information out there. And even she talks about some of the things TQL does and everything. And it's not just TQL; it's a lot of other brokers. I had a list of them, but I left it at home, so I can't really mention the company's names on here right now. But if you guys do agree that these are things that need to be talked about and everything, please hit that little like button over there, and so I know that I'm not putting out information that no one's interested in. If you please subscribe to my channel and share this. If you have a social media channel and you think that the information I need to be put out there to other drivers, please share it on your social media. I don't care if it's Facebook, Instagram, whatever. But we got to start doing something to communicate better with each other. I know we all heard about, we all need to unionize to stop this and stop that. I don't like unions. Just my own personal opinion. I don't like them. But I do think that we need to get some kind of information or a way of getting information out there. So I will be posting more videos like this. Sorry, I had a call coming in to share these kinds of things out here. It doesn't take long, and it's things that other drivers need to know, especially new drivers getting into the industry. And we need to shorten the pull down. A lot of drivers are on their channels, and a lot of channels are calling for a boycott of TQL. TQL doesn't really care, because so what, they lose 500,000 drivers, there's tens of thousands more to choose from that never heard of the boycott or anything, and that's what they're doing. So yeah, just keep spreading the word, and let's at least, if I'm not on the right track, please leave a comment in the section below and say, you're off track or whatever. But I think that we all need to start understanding what we're signing, what we're agreeing to. We need to quit hauling for companies that are screwing us over. The only problem is on that is it's in a lot of contracts now. They see smaller companies, smaller brokers are seeing the bigger brokers get away with, so they're putting it in their contracts, and that's causing us problems, because now we're all signing it. We have no choice if we want to keep running. Again, I'm gonna have to give up my authority, because I'm not going to run and sign contracts that are only benefiting the brokers. We already know they're already ripping us off of our money. They're grabbing a lot more percentage off the freight that they're paying us. We can tell this by looking at, for instance, TQL, Uber Freight, and some of these other companies. The rates on certain freight start off real low, and the closer it gets to time to pick it up, the freight rates go up. That's because they've been offered more money and they're trying to hold on to as much as possible, getting drivers to take loads for cheap until the end, but they have no choice. They have to offer the correct rate. So they're screwing us over. We know they're screwing us over, and we need to start working together to get this information out there. Anyway, I will be doing a lot. Oh, okay, Trucker Todd. Hey, I might get back with you on that. Let me see. Because yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to let go of my authority. I can't sign on with these big brokerage companies, and under the legal things that they're putting in there. And I went back and read other companies I've signed up with, and they all have that same kind of clause in there, and it's something we should have never agreed with in the first place. But yeah, I will definitely be calling you, Trucker Todd, here in a little bit. But anyway, guys, that's the kind of stuff that I want to put out here. Maybe Trucker Todd, I mean, he's got a lot bigger following than I do, so he can talk about some things too. And he has a great channel, and you need to go check his out. That's Trucker Todd LLC channel on YouTube if you guys are interested in hearing what he has to say. But right now, I'm going to go ahead and cut this video down because I'm very upset. I don't want to start using profanity on here, but that's how ticked off I am that TQL gets to hold my money because they're refusing to send my insurance company the information they requested over 2 months ago. So I don't get paid. I mean, that just doesn't seem right to me. And it doesn't seem right to a lot of lawyers. More and more stuff is coming out about TQL. Russell Freight Services LLC says, I'm still over the road owner operator with Dart. Congratulations. Hey, dude, I like Dart. I really did. I paid off my truck and trying to do something on my own and everything. But you know, things work out the way they do. You know, I tried. I didn't realize that TQL was going to do this to me, and it just cost me too much money where I just cannot afford my own authority and keep running for them. But I will definitely get back with some of you guys and look at the company options and everything. I'm looking at one that's Intermodal in Dallas, who I've worked for before. He treated me really well. He got paid really well. So I'm thinking about going back to Intermodal. That way I'm home every day and everything. But we'll see how that works out. But please hit subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification button, because all that stuff helps. Share this video. I'm going to start doing more videos on contracts with brokers. I'm even going to have a meeting with an attorney if I have to pay out of my pocket and see if I can get him to come on my channel and describe the contract so that we all know what we're getting into and things like that. I'm going to be having interviews with insurance companies and other things. My insurance company, for instance, on the problems and situations there, if they're able to discuss it. Or maybe I could make it a general thing about what happens when the brokers won't submit the information they need and everything, because it's a way that the brokerage companies are holding on to our money. They're earning interest on it before you ever get it. It may be months, maybe years in some of these drivers' instances, and some of them just never get their money. You know what I'm saying? And aren't allowed to drive for these brokerages anymore either. So yeah, I believe me, Russell Freight Service, I get it, but I was doing really well until they decided to screw me over, and I realized that these contracts are really, really worded against the trucking companies and the individuals and the owner operators and everything that are driving for them. But most of us didn't know that. We don't know it until it happens to us. We need a way to spread the word. So guys, please talk about this on your channel. Share my video if you want to, if you can. And let's try to get that word out there to these other drivers so they at least know. Because I've been in places where I've talked to other drivers. You know how we are. We sit around truck stops and talk to each other and everything. And whenever I mentioned this clause in the contract, they all, the three that I talked to that were running with TQL, said, no, that's not in there. And I showed them, and they go, well, that's not what that means. I showed them what TQL sent me, and they're like, whoa, had no idea. So, you know, it's things that we just don't know about because we're not attorneys. And TQL, not only TQL, but other brokerages know it too. And they're putting these things in there, and we're just signing it because we have to in order to work. And I'm refusing to do that anymore. If you're not going to pay me my money or find a way to get me out of my money and everything, then I'm done. I'll rather go back to leasing on with someone else. So it's just not worth it to me if I have to risk 30, 60, 90 days of waiting on a check to come in that may never, ever come in. So that's where I'm at. But a lot of drivers don't know about these things. OOIDA should, I think that they know about it, and they should have more classes on it on their channel or whatever, or their website and everything. And ATA, American Truck, all these trucking company organizations that want us to pay them money to help us should be talking about this, especially right now while it's in the news. One driver, they owed $8,000. He drove his truck, painted on the side of his truck. The TQL owes me $8,000, put on a big 53-foot truck. When they seen that, guess what? They went out and paid him. You know what I'm saying? But it's a shame that we have to go to those kind of steps to get our money. But anyway, so these are some things that are happening. I'm going to be trying to get a hold of TQL to get them to send over that information. But so far, after 5 days, 2 months and 5 days, it hasn't happened yet. Boycott brokers. Amen. But that's what it's going to take. It's going to take boycotting brokers. The only thing is, even though I will, from now on, unless they come up with better what they're doing, there's too big of a pool for them to draw from. You know what I'm saying? They don't care if we boycott them. They don't, like I said, they don't care if 1,000, 2,000 drivers boycott them, because so many other people are trying to get their CDLs and get into the business that don't read the contract. And TQL knows they have a pool of uneducated people like me that don't understand, and they're going to sign up and do it anyway. So it's going to take a large movement in order to get TQL to stop that. Shannon Trucking not Shannon Trucking, that's not right. Trucking Makes Successful, she talks about it. Other people talk about it, boycotting and everything. So I'm boycotting them. I'm done. I'd rather go lease my truck on, give the company 20% and everything, make sure I'm dedicated to get my paycheck, because I cannot take the risk of running tens of thousands of dollars worth of freight and not getting paid anymore. Guys, hit like if you agree with what I'm saying. Leave a comment below. Again, subscribe, and please share this video, even if it's on your Facebook page or something. Another truck driver may see it and understand, and we can start working on this together. I am going to start doing videos, more videos about the legal aspects of truck driving and everything, because I think it needs to be shared out here. Hopefully we can all start working together, or working better with each other on this kind of stuff, and start spreading the word. But it won't happen unless we share it on our social media. And a lot of people go, well, this doesn't affect me. Enough people watch yours, no reason to share it on mine. If one other person, 2 other people watch, 2 other truck drivers watch it and get the word and refuse to start driving with these big brokers and everything that are screwing us over anyway on the rates and everything, on top of that, finding these little ways of not paying us, if they learn about it and they know what they're going into, it helps. But I'm going to definitely be talking about a lot more, and I hope some of these other guys with other channels either share this video or link it on their social media sites, Instagram or whatever, so that we can get the word out there more, because I'm definitely going to be talking about it more. Anyway, I know I'm on a rant because I am pissed. I'm going to stay pissed, and I guess we need to, and it's a damn shame that we have to go through these kind of steps just to get the money that's owed to us. Anyway, guys, hopefully I'll be able to get back on here and do more in-depth research on this stuff and everything. Guys, educate yourselves on what we're getting into. Go watch the Freight Waves channels. Go watch Trucking Makes Successful. Go watch Trucker Todd's channel. Read up on the industry of what's happening. And if you don't think that they're informing us enough about how the brokers are messing with us and doing things, send messages to them. These other magazines, newspapers, saying, we want to know more about this. Give us more information. Tell us what this means. They got the money and everything to hire lawyers to where they can research these contracts and write and do articles about it and put things out there that will help spread the word. But right now, this is what we're dealing with. I'm not going to be driving for TQL or a lot of these other brokers anymore. I know Convoy's out of business. That's another video we need to have about, is how many brokerages have collapsed. I mean, this is sad out here. I mean, all these brokerages, not sad, I mean, sad for us, because the more they go out of business, the more they'll realize that maybe they need to start offering us more money so we get their freight hauled and everything. And maybe they quit working out such cheap freight deals or whatever that they thought they were going to work out a thing where the more freight they had, the more money they were going to make. But drivers refused to carry the freight. They lost out. Bye-bye, Convoy. And there's a lot of other reasons, Convoy. Stuff more. Sorry about that. And I hope you guys will subscribe to the channel and share this video, please. And let's try to move forward and do better and get things done better for us. It would be a dang shame if I have to actually quit driving trucks because I have to start doing all this kind of research and everything to educate drivers. But I will put another driver in my truck and have him go to work for someone else if that's what it takes in order to get the word spread out, because we need to better educate ourselves and better educate the new drivers coming into this field and warn other drivers about what they're getting into. And even if you're working for another company that is doing this, because one company had like 18 trucks that were hauling for TQL when TQL pulled that stunt on them and owed them tens of thousands and didn't pay them, and they went out of business. So make sure even the company you're working for might need to know what they're signing, because they may do like the rest of us, just sign a broker agreement and think everything's okay, and it's not. All right, guys. Anyway, I'm out of here. Y'all have a great one. Wish y'all the best. I got my truck wrapped a couple of weeks ago, and I'm going to be showing pictures of that, or a video on that pretty soon. I had a video, but can't download it because my storage used up. But yeah, my truck is looking really, really good. I had a great trip with a customer that I went and found outside the load boards, and he needed a show trailer hauled, and he wrapped my truck for me, and it looks really good. Anyway, guys, talk to y'all later. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good one.